and it's tough to see how this all works here. I didn't give you guys much notice, did I? I rushed in. Man, constitutional carry. They are killing it. The Democrats are killing it. In Austin, they're trying to change. So constitutional carry is actually going through and getting voted on, and the governor's backing it, and looks like it could pass. So the Democrats, to screw the whole thing up, are coming in saying, okay, well, we got to change this and we got to change that. We got to change this law and change that law. We're going to make it so that felons can't have firearms in Texas at all. And all this other stuff they want to change, you know, since they're losing out on constitutional carry. It's crazy. They're just throwing fits. And if you're a Democrat and you're in Texas, you should contact your representative and tell them, leave it alone. Leave it alone. There's nothing wrong with the rest of the laws. Leave it alone. If you don't like constitutional carry, then don't vote for it. But don't go punishing a whole segment of the state's population because something else is going to pass. It doesn't make sense. But that's not what I'm here for. So I wanted to talk to you guys. I'm going to show you something real quick. Get a few more people in here. I'm going to show you guys something. Oh, somebody telling me they got a notification. Hey. Give me just a second here. All right. For those of you that are unaware, man, I've been sitting here for an hour on my phone. Oh, say this is somebody sent me an email about constitutional carry and how what the Dems are up to. I will read it when I get done here, and I may actually do a video for people here in Texas that are interested about what's going on with constitutional carry. But that's not what I'm here for right now. I want to talk to you about how the government is chilling our voices, shutting us up. And I have a video that's going to go live in a few minutes. Since my son actually goes over there and makes it live. But I'm going to show you something here. This is Extra Good Citizen. He's at the Rosenberg City Hall Council meeting, and he has been given 3 minutes to speak. And he's not even going to get through it because the mayor doesn't like his attitude. Okay, so, but I'm going to play this for you real quick, and then I'm going to do a video that's going to go live here shortly that covers this in more detail, and that video will be up as soon as it's up already. I mean, it's uploaded and everything, but I don't think that he's made it live yet. And he's sending me a message now. Make it live. I know you're watching this. Go ahead and make that video live when you get a second. All right, but watch this. I want you to notice that unlike my arrest in LaPorte, where, okay, I admit I was a little mouthy. I mean, I was respectful for the most part, but I understand that what I said towards the end of that meeting that got me arrested was, you know, vulgar. And but that was the point. It was necessary to get the point across to these people who do nothing but live in their own echo chamber. So this is John Gray, Extra Good Citizen, and I want you guys just notice that he's not screaming and yelling and hopping up and down. And what he gets called out for by the mayor is his attitude. Now look at this.
I've heard a tip that there was an officer-involved shooting where a young man who was in the middle of a mental health crisis, these fine gentlemen back here decided to put 6 bullets in him. Now maybe the first one was justified, maybe. I'm not even sure about that. But the one thing I know, that the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth,
down, sir.
The sixth,
This is not a press
the
stop.
sixth were not justified.
All right.
That's what I know. And don't tell me, I will speak as loud as I want to.
Sir, Do you know who is in charge of these proceedings?
I'm going to continue my speech now.
Sir,
I'm gonna
if you
continue.
don't hold your voice down,
I'm going to
you will be asked to leave.
I am going to continue my speech.
Did you hear what I said?
I'm going to continue my speech
All
now,
right,
okay?
please speak respectfully, or you will
Absolutely
be asked
nothing
to
I said
leave.
was disrespectful.
Your tone
But not
and
disrespectful.
your
Okay.
your volume level is disrespectful.
You are now using my time.
Mayor says his tone and his volume level. Now, he is not being excessively loud. He's not yelling and screaming, though he might very well need to get these people to listen to him. But for that mayor to sit there and say, your tone is wrong. I don't like the tone you're taking when you talk about the police. It's wrong. It is wrong. And that is what's having a chilling effect on the people that come there to speak, because they're afraid to speak up because they'll be arrested. And this arrest was planned. That was an ambush. Justin Pulliam, and I'll put a link in the description of this video, and there should be one in the other one. If it's not there, I'll fix it. But they have been giving Rosenberg hell. I mean, they are in Rosenberg constantly, dealing with these crooked cops. And Rosenberg doesn't like it. So what do? Well, they come in, and they knew that these guys were going to be there, and literally they were laying for them. That was a 100%, that was an ambush. And they didn't just charge him with disorderly conduct, because there was nothing to charge him for disorderly conduct for. They charged him with disrupting a public meeting. It's a Class B misdemeanor. And his bond has already been posted, and he is out, for those of you that don't know. It was planned. It was schemed. But the charge is invalid. It is the charge. And what's really funny is I had actually never even looked at that statute. I went and looked at it, and it is so vague and ambiguous that an upper court will invalidate it. It'll declare it unconstitutional because it is so ambiguous and vague. It's one of those statutes that we have here in Texas, like pedestrian in the roadway, that is ripe for abuse by the police. Now, that mayor and the chief of police, if you go watch Justin's video, were very cordial with Justin, okay, and nice to him, and so, we'll be happy to talk to you, but the reality is that they really don't want to talk. They're just out there in public, so they're just putting on the public face. But the mayor gave a contact phone number, and it is included in the other video, and I am told that if you call and you are respectful, whatever that may be, that he will actually engage and speak with you. So if that is the case, perhaps you should put on your public face and try and engage him and speak with him in a civil manner. I can't do it. I mean, I can't do it. So I haven't even bothered to call the dude. But maybe you can, and maybe you can talk some sense into these people and get them to understand that people are concerned about the actions of that police department. Unfortunately, I suspect that Rosenberg is like Laporte. Laporte, when I got arrested there, every witness, every person that said, I will testify against him, I was offended, every single one of them worked for the city or was an elected official for the city. Every single one of them. And when you go to that meeting, there's like 15 city employees there, and only one or two regular people, regular citizens. Citizens don't come there to talk because they know they're not getting anywhere. It's a waste of time. Nobody's listening to them. And the employees that are there, all they can do is talk about how great it is to live in LaPorte. What a great city it is. Well, if it's such a great city, how come you don't see poor people from the community there at City Hall in the city meeting saying, oh, it's a great place to live? The answer is obvious. It's not. The poor, just like every place else, the poor in LaPorte are oppressed and abused and used, and the rich, they run things. You know, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, and that is the reality of it. And Rosenberg is a very similar situation. I believe that the Rosenberg police are not quite as out of control as the LaPorte police are. The LaPorte police, I mean, there's no accountability there. I see zero accountability there. You know, and the problem is leadership. If you got a bad guy leading the place, the whole crew is going to be bad because they have no incentive to do the right thing. And LaPorte and Rosenberg, I see a lot of similarities. You know, they want to chill the speech. We don't want to hear you talk bad about our city. We only want to hear the good things. That's not how you solve problems. You should give more attention to the negative things that people are saying so that you can get some resolution and fix problems. Not just sit around with your echo chamber and your fanboys saying, oh, this place is great, everything is fine. It's not. It's not. And it's not okay, because people are suffering because the leadership in the city is turning a blind eye to it. It's got to change. And John, I have a lot of respect for John for standing up and taking that arrest. A lot of people, you know, give me a lot of kudos because I'll take an arrest for something like that. John, you deserves as much respect from you as you would ever give me for that. And I think the world of John. Love the guy to death. Now, let's see. Other news of the day. I cannot see your comments. I'll get my phone and look for comments in a minute. This is like being routed through my son's thing back over to my place. It's a long story. But anyway, I'll go to comments in a minute and look for questions and whatnot. Oklahoma City. A lot of people have been asking me about this. Somebody called the cops on Floyd thing. And I've not said anything about it because it's an irritation to me. But so it was expected. You know, here a while back, Patrick caught a sergeant allegedly sleeping in his patrol car with his allegedly wife in the car with him. And allegedly he attacked Patrick and pounced up and down on him and did some other funky stuff. Patrick sued and won. And now, you know, those cops up there are out for blood. If they could lay hands on Patrick for something, they're going to do it. And Tim up there lives in that area, is not a popular fellow with the Oklahoma City police as well. So, of course, they're going to target those two. Now, Floyd has been targeted in this as well for some strange reason. Floyd was out in the midst of an audit when this all happened, and to the best of my knowledge, he had no knowledge of anything. Well, so Oklahoma City has issued warrants for Patrick, Floyd, and Tim for making a false police report. They have issued an additional warrant for Tim for conspiracy. I may have that backwards. It may be conspiracy and false police report. Anyway, they have issued warrants for them. My understanding is Patrick is on his way to Oklahoma City to surrender himself. Floyd, I believe, is also en route to surrender himself, and they'll post bond and get on with life. Like I said, these guys are upset. Oklahoma City has a very strong union, police union, and the sergeant that allegedly attacked Patrick, and was sued and lost, is the number 2 union guy for the state of Oklahoma, not just Oklahoma City. He's the number 2 guy for the police unions in the state of Oklahoma. So does anybody have any doubt that they are out for blood? If they could find a felony charge to put on these guys, they'd do it. You can believe that. What are my thoughts on this whole thing? I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. It's senseless. Um, if you're going to go out and do this, and this is my advice to everybody that does this, is go do your thing. Go do your thing. If the police leave you alone, well, isn't that our ultimate goal? Ultimately, we want to be left alone. We want our rights respected. And if the police do that, why do we need to make it something that it isn't? I don't understand that concept. Now, I'm getting blamed for this. I've gotten a lot of comments saying, "Oh, you know, you're involved. You're involved." I'm not even in Oklahoma City. I didn't even know that these guys were in Oklahoma City. Believe it or not, I don't sit around and talk to, all these different people every single day, every single minute of the hour. Everybody thinks that we're like on a walkie-talkie app and we're constantly in contact. We're not. We're not. I do my own thing. I have other things going on. And so I didn't even know Floyd was in Oklahoma City. I hear from Floyd when he's in the Houston area. And now I'm hearing from him while he's out doing audits. He's linking me so that I can monitor him. And that's just a safety net kind of thing. But I had no knowledge of it. I understand from Patrick says he had no knowledge of it, that, so don't know. It ain't my thing. I didn't do it and don't want a part of it. I don't believe in it. And this all comes from the West Coast. This is a bad habit that the West Coast guys had, and it has caught on with some other people in other places. This is, I've said this before, and I've called people out for it. And when I heard about this, there were a couple guys that got an earful from me about it. All right, I'm going to go to comments. Give me just a second. And let's see what we got going on here. Bubble guy. All right, here we go. I'm starting with News Now 702 at 7:40 p.m. She says, I thought Floyd went home to Nebraska. Floyd, well, Oklahoma City is between Texas and Nebraska. I understand some of you are geographically challenged. Cindy's going to send me a dirty message for saying that. Hey, 870 people watching and only 187 thumbs up. Come on, guys. Give me some thumbs up. Okay, hold on. Here's Liberty Bird. Way to point the finger at somebody else, and what a accusation on West Coast cop watchers and auditors. You disgust me, dude. Okay. I just told the truth. I just told the truth. I could name some names and tell you exactly where that whole thing comes from, but I'm not going to bother. I'm telling you, it came out of California. That's it. So accept that. Don't accept that. Like that. Don't like that. That's your deal. You don't like what I'm saying, unsubscribe and go away. You don't like what I do, you don't like what I say, unsubscribe and go away. Why is that so hard for people? I don't understand this whole thing of stalking me and harassing me and coming after me. Okay? If I don't like a TV show, I don't watch it. If I don't like a public personality, I don't watch them. But the stalkers and the crazy people, it's like they linger and hang on every word and everything I do, and I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. What is the fascination with me? I mean, I don't get it. I mean, I understand the scorned and bitter women. I don't understand everybody else that just feels this need to look at every detail of my life. It's pointless. All right, let's see. How is that a false 911 call Tim did not report a crime. I don't know. I don't know. It was I don't know. I really don't know. Let's see. You tried to help them. That's all you can do. I try to help a lot of people. I have helped a lot of people. Not just, recommending their channels or featuring their videos. There have been people that needed money, and I sent them money. People that needed lawyers, I paid for their lawyers. Had house fires, and so I paid for their hotel rooms. And I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that I did these things out of the goodness of my heart, to support people that needed the support. And sadly, so many of those people have since just turned on me, and that's fine too. I wasn't buying loyalty. I was doing the right thing, and my belief is that if you do the right thing, then you've done your good deed. And if somebody abuses that or whatever, that's on them, not me. So let's see. Patrick DeCumbra, bringing down the movement. Mainstream media is going to have a field day with this. It's funny. Justin Pulliam says, is David protecting Patrick? I'm not protecting anybody, Justin. It's funny that you talk about mainstream media. So in this particular instance, OKCPD was getting hammered over this incident. And so when they released their body cam footage, it clearly showed that Floyd didn't make a fist, and Floyd didn't come up to the guy cussing and swearing and acting like he was going to hit him. He clearly says, Floyd walks up and his hand is like this, like that, and he clearly says, I'm just going to escort you to your vehicle, and he starts to go around the officer, and that's when the officer pushed him. So Oklahoma PD tried to distract everybody from what their officer did by putting out that call. So that's fine. I'm not defending that. I 100% will sit here, look you in the eye, see my eyes, look you in the eye and tell you that was wrong. I don't support that, and I will not defend that at all. However, this is what the police do to detract from what their officer did. Okay? Think about this. They have an active criminal investigation going, and they're going to publish the evidence from it. Never happens. Never happens. We see this all the time when the police shoot somebody and kill somebody. Oh, he didn't have a gun. What do we do? We're humiliated. We're embarrassed. What do we do? Oh, hey, he got arrested for possession of a marijuana joint 30 years ago. Let's tell everybody about that. And it has nothing to do with the shooting. But they have to attack the victim to try and protect the bad cop. And that's what we're seeing here. This is what this is all about. Active criminal investigation, and they publish evidence from it. No. What happened to you last night? I thought you were going to help. Hold on. Help Justin at the Fort Bend County Jail. Justin had it under control, did not require my assistance, so I had other things to do and went on. I sent Justin a text message and told him, if you need any help, anything at all, just let me know and I'll be there. And I would have. But he had it under control, it was taken care of. That was it. 1968 says, Patrick is one of the most effective auditors out there. He pushes the envelope. There's pushing the envelope, and then there's being stupid. And I say this about, you want pushing the envelope? Look at what Floyd does. That is pushing the envelope. I mean, he's pushing into a nutsack-sized envelope. I don't think what Patrick does is pushing the envelope. I think what Floyd does is definitely pushing the envelope, and Floyd is in a unique position to put on display a lot of the misdeeds of police towards people of color. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with it, but there is nothing illegal about what Floyd does. Would I do it? No freaking way. I think that it is extremely risky, and I have counseled Floyd about that. A lot of people, a lot of the detractors, yes, Black Jesus, $500 bond on each of those charges in Oklahoma City. People are saying, oh, you control Floyd, you tell Floyd what to do, you're using Floyd as bait. No, that is absolutely 100% not true. Nobody tells Floyd what to do. Nobody. And certainly not me. Now, what I do is I counsel him, and I tell him, as a man, this is a bad idea. You shouldn't be doing it this way. I wouldn't do it this way. But ultimately, he is the one that makes that determination for himself. Nobody's using him. Nobody's using him as bait or whatever. Now, when he's working in my area, 100% I will go and back him up and be the cameraman, be a backup cameraman. But I don't tell him to do anything. This is again what the trolls want you to believe is, oh, I'm just using him to get content. Most of the videos that I've gotten with Floyd, I haven't even published. I think I might have published one or two. One for sure. I'm going to say two, but I don't think there is two that I've published that I have been involved in. Out of maybe a dozen. So no, I'm not using Floyd to make money. I'm not using Floyd for anything. I'm there to back him up. And when I catch something really egregious, like how those Galena Park cops jumped on him, of course I'm going to publish that and call attention to it. 100%. I sure am. And I make no apologies for that. Okay, let me get back here. Wow. Okay, this is all going too fast. Okay, hold on. I'm looking for the thumbs up. I'm only got 187 with 1,000 people watching. Come on, guys, hit that thumbs up. Sasquatch says Patty has called the cops before. Yes, he has. He sure has, and he got called out for it. I believe I'm the one that publicly called him out for it and told him don't be doing that. So yeah. He has. Sasquatch. Go troll someplace else, dude. Let me see here. I want to know just what you know about Floyd. I don't understand your question. Freedom... alias I stalk Jennifer Aniston. Quit stalking Jennifer Aniston. She's a hottie, but quit stalking her. Love to see you come to Mountain View, Arkansas. I will be coming to Arkansas to visit with some friends up there. They used to live here in Houston. They moved up there. I will be going through there and doing some audits with them towards the end of the year. Is the activist movement going in a bad direction? In some respects, I think it is. In other respects, I think it's not. Unfortunately, I've been made aware of how many activists have been caught in some kind of criminal activity or whatever, and rather than face the jail time that they would have to deal with, they made a deal to work as informants. And I was shocked to see some of the names that were on the list that I got as part of discovery. So that is something that will get addressed in the near future, I hope. But there's still a lot of good people working in this movement, and then the trolls are going to say, "Oh, they're convicted felons," and You know, what does it matter what somebody did? What does it matter what somebody did 20, 30, 40 years ago, 10 years ago? I think it's more important, and I don't judge people for what they did. I judge people based on what they're doing. If you were married and you had a bad relationship and you were a bad father, and now you're remarried and you have a good relationship and you're being a good father and you're doing what you're supposed to do, I look at who you are, not who you were. None of us are perfect. I'm certainly not perfect. I've done my fair share of wrong in this lifetime, and now I just try to do it right. I work hard to help people, and I don't do a lot of self-promotion. I mean, how many of you have ever seen me do videos of downtown feeding the homeless, or protecting the people feeding the homeless from the police trying to enforce their little city ordinance about no feeding the homeless? How many of you ever see that? You don't. I don't publish those videos. You don't see the videos of me out with the homeless veterans. You don't see the videos of me out doing a lot of things because I don't publish that stuff. This is stuff that I do. It's a different form of what I do. It's all activism. And I understand that, you know, when I do videos for you guys, you know, these audit videos and stuff, I have to interject some humor. There has to be a little bit of acting or role playing in it to keep it entertaining, to keep you guys happy. I understand that, and I work towards that. But pure activism, you know, and yes, okay, so I'm an actor. I'm an actor and an activist. Why can't I be both? You'll say, oh, you can't be both. Who are you to tell me what I can and can't do? You know, it drives me crazy. All right, let me see. Too bad the fake auditor discredited what happened to Floyd. I agree, Justin. I think that, you know, that this whole phone call debacle, you know, really takes away it should not have happened. And of course the police are going to exploit that to take the eye off of what happened to Floyd, to distract from it. And it pisses me off to no end that these people involved, you know, did that and brought that, you know, gave the police that ability. But I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. It's done. And you know, so it's all about trying to keep people looking at the real issue here, and it's difficult to do. Hector Cruz, is it worthy to go out and audit and spend most of your life with evildoers? You know, again, I look at people and I look at how they're living and what they're doing, and you know, if they're out there smoking dope and being stupid, I don't hang around with those kind of people. I don't hang around with people who go out and commit crimes, knowingly commit crimes. That's just not how I live, and it's not what I do. So if that's what you're doing, you know, I'm not gonna work with you. I'm not gonna hang out with you. I'm not gonna do any of that. I don't want that in my life. I don't need that in my life. But I know a lot of guys that, you know, have been to prison and straightened out. You know, came out doing the right thing because they learned their lesson. And isn't that why we send people to prison? I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought we sent people to prison to correct their behavior and give them the opportunity to pay their debt to society, so that when they come out, their debt to society is paid, and hopefully they learned their lesson and put themselves on the right track. I thought that was our ultimate goal. If I'm wrong about that, well, then I guess we should just be taking people out in the back of the courthouse like China does and putting bullets in their heads. Is that what you want? Because if that's what you want to be very careful what you wish for, because I'm sure you broke a couple of laws today. So maybe tomorrow you'll accidentally break a law. Then what? Do you be condemned for the rest of your life? Somebody accuses you of robbing them. Somebody accuses you of molesting them. I mean, so you're going to be condemned for the rest of your life, maybe taken out in back of the courthouse and shot in the head for what? Or do we go with the system we have? And you go to jail, you serve your debt to society, you come out, and you hopefully become a productive citizen. I know how I vote, but you do what you got to do. Thank you, Amy. Remind them to hit that like button. Make a video of you sitting him down. Oh, I can't read this. Crap, it's scrolling too fast. Save the trolling for Discord like a normal person. Hey, WTT, I see you in there. Oh, man. Let's see what we got here. Long Island Audits is becoming a great auditor. Got arrested today. Oh, I'll have to go look at that. I'll have to go check that out. Justin Pulliam never got arrested. You know what? Just because Justin hasn't been arrested doesn't mean he won't take an arrest. I've been out and worked with Justin, and I will tell you, he is prepared to take an arrest. So you can take that message somewhere else because it is not accurate. See what else we got here. They conspired. Absolutely. They 100% that arrest in Rosenberg of extra good citizen yesterday was planned. That charge was planned in advance. They did not hesitate a minute. He went into handcuffs as soon as they got him out of the city hall. They didn't even know what charge they were going to use yet, right? Yes, they did. Yes, they did. So there you have it. Under Kate Perry microscope, ripped into Justin last night. You're speaking on Floyd right now. More asshole something. Okay, I can't read it. Snitches get stitches. Yeah. Earl the squirrel with no nuts. Okay. Okay. So that's funny coming from somebody who doesn't do what I do. You know, I basically go out and stare down men with guns who can murder you with impunity. And you say I have no nuts. Okay. That's fine. Catman says people change over time. See, I agree. And maybe that is just me wanting to see the good in everybody. You know, I think inherently that people are good. You know, at some point or another, I guess we can all get pulled onto the wrong path, but I want to believe that inherently people are good and will do the right thing when they're given the opportunity. Maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm stupid, but this is what I think and believe, and I know you guys are gonna say, oh wait, you're gonna start talking about God. We don't want to hear your views on God, so I'll leave Jesus out of this for the moment. But let's see. Justin Pulliam gets kickback money? How is that? What's he getting kickback money for? Somebody kick me back some money. That'd be cool. Try me, May 14th, Earl. Okay. Not worried about May 14th. But, you know, if it makes you feel good, it makes you sleep good at night, you feel free to sit there and dwell on it. I thought Patrick learned to call cops on frauditor, then reported it. Can't think of his name. Okay, it's scrolling too fast again. And I don't know how to do this. Top ramen. Okay. Did I ever get my money back from Justin? Justin doesn't owe me any money. I think Justin I actually owe Justin. Yeah, I do. I owe Justin $200 because he posted. I think it's $200. I have to go back and look. He posted my bond in LaPorte. I offered to pay him, and he declined it because as long as I show up in court, he'll get it back in cash, and I will be showing up in court. Thank you, Joshua Warden. Hey, there's something else. People get this thing and say, okay, so when people ask me what my name is, it's Warden. Okay, it's pronounced with an A, but spelled with an O. And I get picked on because I say it's Warden, like a prison warden. I'm telling people how to pronounce it. Okay? Now, the trolls say, oh, you have to teach people how to spell your name because you're misleading them when you say it's a warden. It's stupid. These people, it's every little detail of my life. Every word I say, they've got to have their nose in it. And I don't really care. I just laugh at them. But it's amazing to me that it goes on. Patrick looks like Bobby Hill. Oh, hold on here. Patrick does look like Bobby Hill, and Patrick even embraces that, and he laughs about that. But it is true. I mean, it's the truth. You can't deny it. But he does actually make jokes about that himself. They could not bring to walk my dog. My definition auditing. Hold on, I'm looking for something here. Would we be better off without law enforcement? You know, for a long time, I went around saying that most police are good and a few police are bad. Y'all get ready because I'm fixing to eat some humble pie. I have come to the conclusion, it is my firm and solid belief, and I will sit here and testify before you tonight, that my observation, my direct observation from the field, is that typically about 80% of police are crooked. 80% of police are crooked. And the problem is management. If you've got a bad chief who'll look the other way when officers are doing bad things, then there's no repercussions for the officers. There's no incentive for them to do the right thing, and you'll get false arrests, people getting shot in the street, etc., so forth. We could get that 80% or a good portion of them under control if we had good leadership in the departments. And then you have departments like LaPorte, Deer Park, where the chiefs allow the corruption. They allow these people, these officers, to do wrong without any consequences. So what do? You get false arrests. You get people getting beat up. There are cameras all through the LaPorte jail. You can't do anything in that jail without being on camera. But the cameras weren't put there because inmates were doing wrong. The camera systems that are in place there were put there because the police had a bad habit of beating people in the jail. Did they weed out those officers? Fire those officers? I doubt it. I won't say for certainty because I don't know, but I doubt it. They just put the cameras up to make sure that they beat them up in the patrol car, not when they got to the jail. That's the problem. That is the perfect example of what the problem is. You don't want to fire an officer and put a bad mark on his F5 so that the next agency that might hire him is warned that he's a bad guy. So we get gypsy cops that just go from department to department to department. We've got to stop that. It's got to be brought to an end. And until it is, these bad officers will just go from department to department and keep committing their atrocities. And the good guys, when they speak up, they're outnumbered 80% to 20%, and that 20%, I'm not even sold on that, but you know, for the sake of argument, let's just stick for the sake of argument. And so when good cops stand up, the bad cops run them out of the agency, or frame them for crimes, or do all kinds of stupid stuff to get rid of them, because bad cops only want other bad cops around them, because the good guys aren't going to cover for them, and they know that, so they don't want to work with the good guys. I hope that answered your question about that. Let's see. Well, you know, and ego is a big problem amongst officers, especially younger officers. They you know, they get a job with all this power, and they don't know how to take their ego out of the equation. And unfortunately, then you have the older officers who are generally better behaved because they're just trying to get through retirement now. But then they remember the days when, you know, they could do these contempt of cop arrests, and they have that old habit, so they will do it. If you hit their ego hard enough, they'll do it. Eric Brandt. Oh man, don't get me started on Eric. I am disgusted, not surprised, but disgusted at the sentence that judge gave him. But it's what I expected. I mean, that judge is going to side with other judges. You know, he's going to think, oh, well, I could have been the one that was targeted by Eric Brandt. And you know, he hit Eric hard. No. Mark, search and rescue. Okay, so Mark, I want to talk about this light thing. That last video that I put up, the thing with the flashlight is you're on the street, okay, and these lights are extremely bright. I mean, the one that I carry is brighter than the high beams on most cars. It's crazy how bright that thing is. But we're not like standing in driveways and just flashing them in windows and stuff like that. We're just walking down the street, and yes, we do shine around, okay, absolutely. But what ends up happening is that somebody will invariably this is what happens, they'll stick their head out the door and holler at you, you know, what are you doing? And if you don't answer them, if you won't stop and tell them what you're doing, they get upset. And what I'm finding from this, and this is the reason I'm doing it, what I'm finding with this is the police when they get these phone calls, the people that are calling in are not giving accurate information about what's occurring. And they are provoking the police response. All right? What are they saying? Oh, he's in my yard. He's standing here flashing a light at me, and didn't happen. Up in Kingwood, first off, in Kingwood, I wasn't even standing where that incident occurred. I was half a block away walking up to catch up. I had stopped to take a phone call. And they said that I was in their yard with a flashlight, shining it, and I wasn't even there. So people are giving incorrect information to get a police response. And so I'm gathering information about this, and I am preparing to do something about it. I'm not going to reveal my cards too much here at this point, but there's going to be some action taken to get this practice maybe slowed down, maybe not brought to an end, but slowed down. And the district attorney will not prosecute people who make, you know, it's funny, they're Oklahoma City grabs up Tim and Patrick and Floyd for a bogus 911 call, and yet our district attorney here will do nothing to people who do this. And I'm dumbfounded by that. So I'm generating I be careful what I say, because again, I don't want to reveal my hand. but I'm gathering and documenting these encounters and preparing a report to send over to each police department involved and the district attorney's office so that they have an understanding of what is occurring. So the next time one of these, like that Seabrook sergeant the other night that jammed us up and cuffed us up, and like he had us all twisted funky with the handcuffs so that they would be painful, he knew who I was. And that was to punish me, to screw with me, because he can. He's showing us who has the power. And that officer, that sergeant, has a history. And I've got that. I know he's probably watching this. I got that history. I got your victims. I got 3 of your victims already that I've spoken to and am interviewing. So, God, I'm going to do an expose on you. Yeah. We'll get to you in a little bit. But it's important to alert the hierarchy about this gap in communication, because that will help to, I hope, help to get some training to people about, wait, now these guys they're making this call, could be exaggerating. We don't want officers rushing out there thinking the wrong thing and hurting somebody. That's ultimately, people talk about what change comes from what you do. A lot of change comes. The problem is, I don't sit around and hype about it. I don't sit around and toot my own horn about it. A lot of things have changed favorably because of my activism. And just because I don't make a big deal about it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It's I don't have the need to flaunt publicly, look at me, I won a lawsuit. For what? It doesn't make sense. And the people that do that are they're not about activism, they're about themselves. And the people that do that, probably use that money to just go buy dope. Every lawsuit that I've ever won, every single one of them, 100% of the proceeds, and I'm not even deducting legal fees or anything like that. That all came out of my pocket. 100% of every lawsuit I have ever won has gone to St. Jude's. Every single one of them. So, Earl's air conditioner is dying. I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. Fat Squatch is a crybaby. Yeah, once again, they got these people. Oh, I hate you. I can't stand you. I hate you. You're a bad person. But I'm going to sit here and watch everything you say. I will watch every video you do. Why? I don't get it. Have a life. Go spend some time with your kids, your family, your friends. Don't waste your time on me if you don't see value in what I do. It's silly. If there's no law enforcement, there will be military. So, that's interesting that you bring that point up. You know what we had for policing before we had police? Anybody? We had community leaders that did the policing. How about that? It's an interesting idea, huh? Policing, police came about as a result of slaving. The police were the policy enforcers looking for runaway slaves. That's what the police did. That's why if you look at a lot of laws that have been on the books for a lot of years in, state laws and city ordinances and stuff, a lot of them are like ID laws. Louisiana is a good example. Basically if the police stop you, you got an ID. And that was all to help locate runaway slaves. And there's a lot of laws like that. Even in, we got crazy laws on the books here in Texas. In the state of Texas, it's against the law to walk down a street with a pair of wire cutters in your pocket. I'm totally serious. And that law stems from cattle rustling. Okay? People used to use the wire cutters to cut fences to rustle cattle. So, if a politician wants something to clean up, I think that's a safe law to remove from the books. Why you not come up on the invite for the panel? Heard your feelers got hurt and you did your own live. Come talk to us. Anon One News. Nah, not interested. Why, I don't mind going on panels where people ask me questions, and even tough questions. I've had it done. But I have no need to go on a panel of haters who just want to sit there and berate and abuse me. Not interested. Not interested at all. There's no value in it for me. There's no point in it for me. It's not civil debate that you're looking for. You're just looking for an opportunity to abuse somebody. Make yourself feel like a big person because you got to talk stupid to somebody. Not interested. And I will warn you about talking stupid to people, because one day you're going to talk stupid to the wrong person and they're going to come pay you a visit. It's something to be mindful of. The internet is not as anonymous as you think it is. Something to be aware of. Let's see what else we got. Only saw one auditor up in North New Jersey. There used to be a couple in the New York City area, but they got, harassed by NYPD to the point that I think they quit. NYPD is bad. They're bad. People will be crying for Dickory. Yeah. Hey, CW, I got to go over and review the law. They were looking at, the Dems were trying to kill constitutional carry by changing a bunch of other laws that had nothing to do with constitutional carry. They were going to make it so that felons couldn't have firearms in their homes and all kinds of crazy stuff. So I got to go over and look at what they passed. Have you seen our edit Bad Cop No Donut? No, I haven't seen that. Cop who covered up the Rodney Reed case. I don't know that case. Bobby Dixon, I'm doing good. Done with my hypocrisy. Bootleg justice. Who did I mess with? You went into somebody's neighborhood and messed with people. I didn't mess with anybody. I don't know what you're talking about. When did it become against the law to walk down the street, any street in this country? Flashlight, no flashlight. I've been arrested in the daytime. Go look at Jersey Village. There's video on here from Jersey Village. It doesn't matter, night or day. You walk in a neighborhood, as long as you're not, I never get off the sidewalk, never touch anybody's property, never go near vehicles, none of that. And still get the cops called on me. So, when in this country did it become illegal to walk down the street? And if you're saying I can't walk down a neighborhood street, how long is it before you say I can't walk down Main Street? Or some side street? As long as you are not breaking the law, you are free to walk down any street in this country you wish to do so, as long as it's not a private road. Public street, I should say public street. And that's how it is. And if you've got a flashlight, and I don't agree with standing in front of somebody's house and shining a flashlight in their windows and all of that. I'm not even talking about anything stupid like that. I am talking about just walking down the street. Thieves don't walk down the street with a light that looks like the sun in the middle of the night looking to commit thievery. They don't do it. Thieves like the darkness. Think. It's simple logic. And for somebody to say you can't walk down the street with a flashlight, it's not right. It's wrong. As a matter of fact, go to your local police department's website. I will bet you that they have something on there about anytime you walk after dusk, you should carry a flashlight. They tell you to do it. Admittedly, okay, now I'm splitting hairs. Admittedly, they don't say carry a flashlight that produces 1,000,000 lumens. Okay, I got it. All right, and I know that it is a bit excessive. All right, but what have we gotten from that? We've learned that people, when they call in, don't tell the truth a lot of times. We've gotten officers who are responding that are behaving inappropriately. So I think that it's a good thing. There are some things about it that need to be tweaked, I will say, and I'm working on that. But it's just another tool in the auditor toolbox. And I'm going to go back to doing daytime stuff. But it's the same thing. I don't even have to have a flashlight. Just walk down the street and look at somebody's car. They'll come out, they'll, why are you looking at my car? It's a nice looking car. Walk on. If you will not stand there and give them an explanation, these people get butthurt and call the cops. And that needs to be exposed. That's not how it works. You may not agree with it, but it is what it is. I believe that people are free to walk down any street in this country. As long as you're not breaking the law, you should not be bothered. And if I see somebody walking down the street with a flashlight, I may look out the window to see what they're doing. As long as they're not around my cars or in my yard, I'm not going to bother them. They're walking down the street. That's their business, not mine. And I'm certainly not going to go out and demand answers of them. Where are you going at this time of night? Why do you have a flashlight? You see what I'm saying? You should absolutely, and again, we're not talking about being in somebody's yard or hanging around their cars. I am talking literally about walking down the street. All right, let me see what we got here. Thousand people looking. All right, I'm going to recap and then I'm going to get off of here. Thank you, Tiffany, and all the people that are sending super chat. I appreciate it. I can't keep up with the comments here. I'm going to recap. There is the video. I think. Hold on. Let's see if he sent me a message. Is it live? Hey, send me a message. Is it live? Okay. Yes. All right. So he made the video live. It's a video of Extra Good Citizens arrest at the City Hall meeting. Basically, there was nothing wrong with his tone. He wasn't cussing and screaming or anything like that. And the mayor just took offense at his tone because he dared to talk badly about the police. That video is up on the channel, and there will be a link, and there will be a link in here as soon as we can get it added for Justin Pulliam's video of the arrest. Warrants have been issued in Oklahoma City for Patrick, Tim, and Floyd for, what did I say it was? Making a false police report over this phone call debacle. My understanding is that, I may be wrong, don't hold me to this, but my understanding is that there was only one person involved in that start to finish. What else? I think that's it. It's the news of the day and a lot of chatter in between, and I appreciate you guys popping in here to watch. Can't think of anything else. So I'm gonna wrap this thing up and get me some popcorn. And I've been watching a new, well, it's not new. There's a series on Netflix called Outlander that I've been watching. It's actually pretty good. It's kind of violent and a lot of gore. Some naked women for you guys that like to watch naked women. But it's an interesting series. I like the history, how they show how people actually lived back in the 1700s and stuff. That's what attracts me to it. As I'm a history buff. So it takes place in Scotland. It's pretty interesting. It's really good series. I think I'm into the 3rd season now. How I missed this before, I have no clue. Anyhow, that's it, guys. I appreciate y'all popping in here and watching. I'll put a link in the description for Justin's video, and we'll get one in the other video as well, so that you guys can go over there and see it. If you're not subscribed to Justin Pulliam or Justin Pulliam Live, get over there and do it. Justin does good work and does important work. Extra Good Citizen, I'll put a link to his channel as well in here, so that you guys can go over there and be sure and to subscribe to John as well. Once again, he does good work. So that is it. I will see you guys again soon. Y'all be safe, and watch for some new audit videos.